नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. When a disciple sadhaka is ripe for jnana, the Sadguru comes and gives upadesha there and then. Then and there the Guru gives. Likewise, I am now ready. You should now make it happen. So please go to the king. But convey whatever correctly you need to convey. But I only have some suggestions to you. Huh? Swan says, yes. Is it okay? Take my case to the king. Yes, please do. But don't state my case. Be careful when you state it to the king. Okay? In certain times you should not talk about this to him. When you take my case to the king, never state my case when the king is sitting amidst other girls. At that time you should not go and say Damayanti's case. Okay. Never state my case when he is sitting in an angry mood or bad mood or whatever. Don't put up my case at that time. Or if the king is totally engrossed in some work or some object, at that time don't go and put my case to it. Antaramji says, paper padi garche position of you. Don't go and put my case. Okay. So please choose the right time. She is advising him now. Please choose the right time to go and convey the case. It doesn't matter if it delays, sir. We are not in a hurry. 1-2 days this way, that way. But correct time. When you think it's going to work, that's the time you should put the case. Better late than never. She's a wise lady, young, but in her heart she's very wise. So she now spoke openly to him and said, this is it, now you go ahead. Okay. Now, the swan saw that here the case is over. Okay. The Damayanti is well and truly in love with Nala. So till now he has not spoken a word, he's just been listening to her. Maunam, looking at her, raising an eyebrow, like that, but he has not spoken a word through all these dialogues of hers. Now he decided to break the mauna of his beak and spoke and said, "Oh princess, actually project is over. Nothing remains to be done by me. Kamadeva has already done it with both of you. Actually, Kamadeva is so jealous of Nala, you don't know. He's so jealous of Nala. See, Kamadeva has been made Ananga. That is, he is formless. He has been burnt by Shiva. So he is formless. Whereas Nala, he has got form. He is there. He is more handsome than Kamadeva and he is all there. He is physically there. So Kamadeva is very jealous of him. So you know what he has been doing? He has been burning Nala. He is already burning. Now, Sriharsha in Naishadham refers to Kamadeva. Kamadeva is referred to as Kamadeva, Manmada, Madana, many names. But the name Sriharsha refers to Kamadeva always is Smara. Thought. Thought is desire. Smara. Smara is Kamadeva, his wife is Rati or infatuation. Physical infatuation. Rati. Smara is thought. Physical infatuation is the wife. This is the concept. So when Lord Shiva burns Smara, he burns the mind. Right. That's how you transcend.
Now here, Sriharsha gives a brilliant demonstration of the art of Shringara, the art of love. In India, the concept of love has been beautifully dissected and written about almost as a science. And the art of Shringara is something that has been depicted in many different books. One of them is the manual called Rati Rahasya, said to be about 10th or 11th century. It talks of 10 stages of love, which is called Smara Dasha. Smara is, as we said, Kamadeva or Kama. Dasha, the states of love. Nayana Preeti, first one, meaning the eyes are happy. There's pleasure to the eyes when one sees the beloved. Chitta Sangha, the mind becomes completely one with the thought of the beloved. There's nothing else that one thinks about. Sankalpaha. Sankalpaha is the resolve. I will get my beloved, come what may. The Nidra Cheda, one loses sleep. Tanuta, one loses weight, one starts becoming weak. Vishaya Nivritti, one loses interest in any object other than that, our beloved, nothing else is of interest. Trapanasha, one loses all sense of shame. Unmada, one just goes crazy, one is completely madly in love. Murcha, one starts fainting. And then the final, the 10th dasha, Mriti, death, one dies. So these are the 10 states of smara, love. The Hamsa tells Damayanti that Nala is affected by all 10 and he starts describing them one by one. He tells her, see, Nala has got a picture of you drawn by an artist and he's always looking at it. He's always looking at it adoringly. So that's the first one, Smaradasha of Nayana Preeti. Then the next one, Chitta Sangha. He says, oh Bhaimi, while you are outside him, you are also inside his heart. In this, you are like his prana, his life breath. He breathes you in, he breathes you out. You are forever in his heart. Surely you are equal to his very life, oh Bhaimi. Therefore, Chitta Sangha, the mind's total devotion and oneness with the object of love has already happened for him. And since he has no interest in anything other than you, Vishaya Nivritti has also happened. He has no interest in any Vishaya at all. So Nayana Preeti has happened. Nala's eyes are always streaming tears by me. He's crying all the time. Some tears are coming out. And there's a fight between Nayana Preeti, that is his love for you, as well as the eyes which are not winking. The winklessness are both claiming that the tears are due to me. The tears are due to me. And now coming to Sankalpa.
Nala is forever breathless. He's breathing breathless, tired. Like that is all the time. Because in his mind, he's going on thinking of ways to get you. So he's going on, keeping on ladder, climbing, thinking, oh, this won't work. He's getting down, putting the clay again, climbing, getting down. Sopana, Manasopanam. He's going on, and like people who go climb up and down ladders will be breathless, no? He's going on like that, is breathless all the time. By this he is saying that his mind, Sankalpa has come to get you. Somehow get you. Sankalpa has also now happened. Nayana Preeti has happened. Chitta Sangha has happened. Sankalpa has also happened. And in the nights when he lies down in his bed, his eyelids, no, they don't kiss each other, he tells her. All the time open by eyes, lying down. So that is Nidra Cheda. That is, the sleep has gone. Sleeplessness is set in. Next one, Tanuta. Tanuta means thinness. When you lose weight, apparently. Okay, when you're desperate and in love, etc. So you start losing weight. One good way of losing weight, I suppose. Now he says, Kamadeva, to make Nala also into Ananga, has been burning him and making him thin. So that Tanuta is also there. Okay, Tanuta. Then Vishaya Nivritti we saw. Then Trapanasha. Trapanasha means, Trapa means shame. Trapanasha means losing all sense of shame. When a person is deeply in love, one of the liabilities that happens is, the shame becomes shameless. Okay. This is shamelessness is set in. How? He says, what he is thinking now? He is thinking he will not mind using force. Rakshasa Vivaham also is considering. One day he'll just come and grab you and take you away. He is thinking. Rakshasa Vivaham. Then he is thinking that no, that's not the correct way to do it. So he is thinking, why not become a dasa? That also he is thinking. By a dasa he'll become. All sense of shame has vanished from his mind. Trapanasham has happened. Okay. Trapanasham. Unmadha. Unmadha, madness. He says, you don't know. He's imagining about you all the time and he keeps on talking with you also. Okay, keeps on talking with you. And he sometimes thinks you have become very upset with him, so he gets scared. And then sometimes he starts simply laughing. Sometimes he runs after you, although you are not there anywhere. Sometimes, he do all kinds of crazy things he's doing. His unmada has set in on him. So he's also mad in love. Madly in love. Crazy. Okay, unmada. Then there is murcha. These are like fainting. Like an elephant, in the banks of Yamuna, there is supposed to be quicksand. A daldal. The elephants get caught in it and they lose consciousness. Like that, he loses consciousness in the quicksand of your love. The last one is mriti, death. People die. So he says very beautifully, Swan says, Kamadeva has 5 arrows, right? And he's got both hands, each arrow 10. That means 5 this hand, 5 that hand, 10. May the 10th arrow and Kamadeva's arrow go and blossom. They'll hit something. May the 10th arrow blossom a flower in the sky. What he means is, the 10th arrow, there is no such thing as a flower in the sky. So let it do that, because otherwise it may kill this fellow. So instead of without using the bad word of death, it conveys to this one that he may suffer. He is also not easy. Now you said that I will die. So he is also nearly in that state, like that. Meanwhile, you remember that she went chasing this swan and they were talking all this inside a small thicket of forest. But all the Sakhis are all behind. They're going searching for her. No, where is she going? Where is she going? So they now land up. They all land up there. So immediately the swan gets off into the air and takes leave from Damayanti, saying, may all be well with you now, so grant me leave, I shall be going. So it pushes off. So immediately her eyes are sweeping up. You can imagine what an experience she's gone through. She's had a deep discussion of all kinds, and what beautiful dialogues they had, all the double meaning and triple meaning that she had conveyed in her coy way to the swan. All that has happened now. This beautiful swan, golden swan from Brahmalokam, is flying up in the air and going away. So her eyes are rising up in the air, following it, although her friends have come. And the going away of the swan is so sad that her eyes are all filling with tears, so she can't see. But she's looking, but in her eyes, inside her mind, she's able to see it flying away, etc. Meanwhile, these girls land up and they see her crying. Her eyes are streaming. So they all try to console her, saying, no, we are searching for you, we couldn't find you, and all that stuff. They don't realize that the story is something totally different. She is not going to tell them either. So that way they're all chatting with each other, etc. And they come back to the palace. Meanwhile, the swan goes right up in the air and it dives and it glides and it does everything and goes right back to Nala, because he has to close the loop now. He has come from there, he has done this, he has to go back and tell Nala. And he finds Nala in exactly the same position as he had left him. That fellow is frozen in that pleasure garden, sitting in the same position with the same expression as the swan had left him. He was completely overwhelmed by smara. And he was lying on a bed of leaves and arrows and all that to make himself cool, shoot, send sprouts and all that. He was lying there, gazing blankly into the sky, looking as if some UFO is going to land. And then he was speaking to himself, saying, "Oh, Damayanti, you are still not mine. What can I tell you?" and all that. And all that is some muttering is going on. And then suddenly he sees this swan flying into his horizon. It's coming down. So immediately his eyes light up, and before he can say 1, 2, 3, the swan zoom, it lands next to him and says, "Done." Like Hanuman came back to Rama and said, "Seen. Drishta Sita Niramaya." Niramaya also, he says, she's well. She is not ill. She's well. So Drishta Sita Niramaya. Seen. So the king is not satisfied with one word. Seen means what? Kimiti, what? Tell me fully what happened. What all happened? What did she say? What did you say? How long? You've been found for a long time, etc. So the swan has to now wait, and then swan tells in detail all that had happened, with how she is and all that. Really lights a proper fire in Nala, and there ends the one sarga of Naishadam in this note of joy, because the king was filled with infinite joy when this swan had come back. Har Namah Parvati Pataye Janaki Kanta Smaranam Gopika Jivana Smaranam Vetrivel Muruganukku Shri Sadguru Swaminah Shri Anjaneya Swaminah